Show. Good evening.
Good evening, Paul. How are you, mate?
Oh, I'm cracking. Love
Good.
it.
Good.
Good evening, Clary. Kelsey. Hi, love. Hoggy boy. Good evening.
How we doing, guys? That was
Hope
a strange
everybody
video,
well.
wasn't it?
What's want it?
That
I
was
thought
very
I'd make
strange.
it. I thought I'd make it a little bit harder.
Well, yeah.
Hopefully, it's
And
harder.
I think were all wooden frames and wooden beams and things like that.
It was.
So
Beam me up, Scotty. Good evening, Bibby.
is Bibby with us?
He is, yeah.
Good evening, Bibby lad. I hope you're well, mate.
Apparently, it's a place with shitty old fences.
Well, I don't know if they are fences. It looks like they were used for something. At first,
there you go.
what I thought, I thought it was some kind of, I don't know, it's some kind of sports ground that's gone into
Right.
disrepair, cricket or horse racing or something.
Well, you could be on a winner there.
And then
Horse
I thought,
racing.
some of these fences are made of metal, which tells you that it's some kind of obstacle for something utility, should I say? Because it's a lot. It's back in the day, probably when they were built, it was expensive to use metal frames, so it would have, it wasn't just a fence. I think anyway. That's all I can say. I don't know where it is or what it is.
Actually, quite a few of them. Quite a few of them are concretey type things, aren't they? If you looked at them, they're not all wood. But I can give you a bit of a clue, Bobby.
Go on.
One of the biggest places that the photographs are from near you.
Right.
I'm not going to tell you where because that'll give the game away, but they're in your area.
Right. Well, I'm thinking dry stone walls. Maybe something to do with the woolen industry, if it's near me.
There's quite a lot, isn't there? There's
something like that.
Anyway.
Maybe he's not got time today to have a search.
No, well, he'll have just got up, poor lad. It's either that or he's ready for bed.
Well, he's had a busy week on YouTube.
He has, hasn't he? I've noticed. Yeah. I have watched
doing a few lives. I've popped in and said hello and what have you. You've got to support each other. So anybody wants to go across to Bibby and subscribe and have a look, you can do. Good to see Kelsey. You're well, Oggy boy. Any ideas, guys? Anybody got any ideas? Because this quiz, I've noticed, it's either all and out. They either get in first few minutes or...
It's probably because I give them too many clues at the beginning, really.
Halfway through, you have to replay it. It's 1 or 2. What's the quiz?
Yeah, well, we'll see how it goes.
Oh, haven't you seen it, Oggy boy? What's the quiz?
Oh, well, there you go. Then you're not going to get it if you haven't seen it.
Paul's played a video, and he tends to, with his videos, because I don't know anything, guys. I don't know. He doesn't give me a clue and out. So there tends to be a few clues in it about where it is.
Hoggy boy, it begins with an A, but I won't spoil it. What begins with an A?
Oh, right.
Oh, well, there you go.
There was a plaque in it.
There was.
There were a plaque on the wall.
I blacked out some. Well, I haven't blacked out. I blued out some of the.
I might have to scroll back and have a see what plaque.
Some of the things. We're not Hoggy. We're not looking for a place, mate. We're looking for a saying.
Oh, you didn't say that.
It does. It says it on the screen. We are looking for a saying.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh, it does.
It does. Yeah. You got to watch the bid. Anyway, if it lasts.
So what you're saying, Paul, is this place is a saying originates from this place.
Yeah. That's right. Basically what I'm getting at.
Can we have a clue? Is it? Well, it must
be.
You've
got the clue in the thing.
It's not far from me, so it must be a Yorkshire saying. Or
no, it's not. No, it's not a Yorkshire saying, Bobby.
Well, it comes from my way.
It's a saying, but we'll see. We'll see how people go. You carry on talking because I'm just doing something in the background. So bear with me.
Right. I can't think what it could be. So
Well,
anyway,
there you go. It's fairly hard, isn't it?
it's what?
It's fairly hard then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we want, isn't it? Fairly hard. So we'll see how it goes. So what are we going to talk about then?
Well, what kind of week you had?
Off and on, really. Don't know if you could call it off and on, but off and on.
Off and on, right?
Yeah,
right.
It's up and down.
Yeah, well, you've got to get on with it, haven't you? This day and age, and it's coming up to cold weather.
It is, but it's going to be quite good this week, apparently. So it says.
What's it been like round your way?
Cold, but it's not been really. We haven't had the heavy winds and things like that.
Right.
But, it's been bloody cold, as it always is in winter. Cold. Yeah, by gum.
I'm cheating now. I'm having a look on Google, see if I can find out.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's what Google's for. Hopefully, it'll point you in the right direction.
That's what you have to do, folks.
But I'll throw in a couple more clues a bit later on if it isn't got. Oh God! If nobody gets it, yeah.
So how did have you? I watched you live last night, and you said you hadn't heard from Levi.
No, he hadn't. He hadn't phoned me. He hadn't phoned me for 2 Sundays now. The little toe rag.
Little toe rag. So, has any family heard from him?
Yeah. The others seem to hear from him. He just, I don't know why he's missing.
He doing okay?
Out. Seems to be, yeah. Everything seems to be fine. Yeah, seems to be getting on okay. So.
I think I've got it,
Don't say it if you have. Send me a private message in the private message thing, and I'll tell you if you're right, matey.
I'll tease them if I've got it right.
Hey?
I'll tease them if I've got it right.
Yeah, well, I ain't going to put your name on the leaderboard. So there you go. So Oggy Boy's passing because he's... he ain't going to get the praise.
I've private messaged on this program.
Let's have a look then. No, it's not that one. You're not right, Bobby. You're on the right area, but that's not the same we're looking for. Okay.
Right.
But you're on the right area. So,
right. Because I think I know what it's. Can I say what I think it is without saying what I think the saying is? My theory is this is something to do with cloths.
Well, yeah, it is.
Industry.
You can see it's got something to do with cloths because I think 3 or 4 of the pictures show you pictures of cloth.
Oggy Boy wants to get on winner's board, look.
He wants his name up in lights.
And I think it's something.
Well, it is coming up to Christmas. Everybody wants a name in lights at Christmas.
It's either cloth or leather, and it's something to do with stretching.
Well, I'll tell you now, it's not cloth.
Right.
It's not leather. Sorry, I do apologise. It's not leather.
Is it cloth? Is it something to do with textile industry?
Well, there was lots of cloth, wasn't it? So yeah.
Well, when you said my area, you see, we're a main woolen area, weren't we, back in the day?
Yeah, I said your area, but it isn't only. It's not a Yorkshire saying. It's
no, yeah,
and it's all those photographs I put on the vid are not all in Yorkshire. They're all over the place.
Evening, Patrick.
Cold in Dublin. It's cold here, Patrick. I can tell you now, matey.
We've Paul played a video earlier, and it's a well-known saying, and it's there's plenty of closing video, but we're all trying to work it out what it is. Now, I'll tell them what I said, and I thought it was something like it's a bit of a stretch, because I think these frames putting together my area, which is West Yorkshire, which was heavily involved 100 years ago in the textile industry. We actually had the in Bradford there was the Wool Exchange, which is a building in Bradford.
I think I've been there once.
Yeah, they came from all over the world to trade in wool. I mean, they came from Australia, New Zealand, and back in that day, it could take up to, believe it or not, 6 months to get from Australia, because they came by boat. They used to transport stuff, and they used to go there when they brought their heavy woolens over, and they used to do trading in the Bradford Wool Exchange. Now that's just my area. That's nothing to do with video. So when he said it's about around my area, that's my first thought, and then I'm thinking these frames are too well made to be fences.
They're not fences.
No, I thought they're too well made because they've got iron frame. Partly of it's iron, which were expensive to manufacture.
So according to Kelsey, the Wool Exchange is now a Waterstones and has the original ceiling.
You're right, Kelsey.
I know I've been there. I'm sure I've been there.
Yeah, it's down at the bottom of the building.
I used to
Bradford.
I used to know a lad who used to do the food for some of the mills around you.
Yeah.
He was the catering person for the mills.
Yeah.
So I do know he took me somewhere, and I've got a sneaking suspicion that's where he took me.
Anyway. On the outside of the Wool Exchange used to be a pub. It was part of the Wool Exchange originally, and it was built into the Wool Exchange. It was a pub for years. But yes, she's right, it's Kelsey. It's a Waterstones bookshop now.
Maybe you didn't get the praise, mate, because I don't think you've come up with any. And Hoggy, no, that's not the praise we're looking for, mate. Good try, but not quite what we're looking for.
How far off the mark am I, Paul?
Oh, a long way.
I'm at home, so don't go. All that, folks, I've said, he's a beggar, he's Paul, isn't he? He could have stopped me halfway through and said, we're down the road.
I thought I'd just let you rabbit on, basically. Because somebody might... Bibby's just won.
On tenterhooks.
Tenterhooks. Yeah.
Well, do you know what tenterhooks are?
Yeah. It's what they stretch the cloth on to dry.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's where the saying comes, on tenterhooks.
How does Bibby know? He says, I
don't know, but he was trying
to put others off, wasn't he, saying, I haven't got time to look tonight.
Yeah, yes.
Well, that puts Bibby on 5 wins.
Yeah, so it's not tender hooks, as a lot of people say tender hooks, and it's not. The saying is on tenterhooks. So there you go. Bibby's got it. I'm impressed. So come up quite well, Bibby, mate. Well done.
So
it's the Rolls Royce then, matey. Is it? He wanted a Rolls Royce if he got to 5. So, there you go.
Let me just show you. Yeah, he were. He's on 5, Paul. He's well in front.
Yeah, he's rolling it now.
Not bad for a southerner, that is it?
No, I'm quite impressed. I'm impressed he got that. So Bibby says no one else was guessing, so I thought I'd give it a crack. Well, you cracked it great. So there you go.
I'm just looking to see if I could add a picture to this live.
You should be able to.
Let me have a look. Let me just have a look, because I'll show you Wool Exchange today, because Kelsey's just said show a picture at Wool Exchange. It's lovely. If I can get it to come up. Let's just have a look there.
Anyway, there we go. The quiz winners board's been updated. So there you are. All done.
Right.
There we go.
Can you see that?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
I can.
Well, give it a throw. Make one of them bigger.
Just a second. You'll have to do that because I can't see.
No, you go on your screen and click on one of the pictures. that you've got. So where's the have you just taken a
Right.
picture of that, or is that
Just
a
a minute.
page?
Just a minute. Let me just take that off there. Let me just take that off there a second, and I'll share. Let me just a minute. Let me. How do I take that off now? Because I need to do it again. Screen.
What? The big picture with all the little pictures on, do you mean?
Window. There we go. That's it. I've got it now. Can you see that?
Yeah.
That's
That looks quite good.
That's the wool exchange inside.
And that's the that's Waterstones, is it then?
And that's Waterstones Waterstones bookshop.
All right.
If you can imagine back in the day, there'd be hundreds of men in there, all with little samples of wool and etc. And they'd all be having meetings and they'll be auctioning and selling.
So what's the picture on out? Is there a picture for outside then?
There is, but it might take a bit of finding. That's gone now. But it is a grand building. It's one of the few left in Bradford that's actually got lots of architecture. I mean, inside the ceiling there were beautiful, wasn't it?
It did, yeah. It did.
But it's a famous building, and I hope to God they never lose it. Because you never know when they're starting to they're trying to.
Well, yeah.
They're trying to take our town hall. It's terrible. They've shut it of Kirklees Middle Council, and the story of our town hall, Paul. It's a big, beautiful building. I don't know if you remember it when you come and
I do, yeah.
I
remember you saying,
and
that's the one with where you said about the ding dong thing.
Oh yes, the story.
Yeah, yeah.
Clock. Anyway, it was donated to the people of my town when it was built. It was built by the local people, local wealthy people, if you like, the farmers, etc., as a landmark for my town. And over the years, the local councils have stepped in to maintain it, which is a good thing, and look after it and run it. Anyway, just recently, our local council says we're shutting it because it's too expensive to maintain, and we're going to sell it. Anyway, we've got a committee in town saying, who says you're going to sell it? It belongs to us, not you. So there's a bit of a war going on. They're saying that because they've maintained it for the last 150 years, that they have a right to say what happens to it. But the original document says it was donated to the people of my town. So there's a back and a forth with solicitors at the moment, and I suppose it's down to laws, isn't it? Laws of the land.
Yeah.
And I'm just hoping there's no corruption in local council and they get their own way.
Unfortunately, there's corruption everywhere, isn't there?
Because to me, it's your identity.
It is, yeah.
Something like that. It's like even with villages, a village hall. That's your identity. If you go back years, that's where everybody used to meet up. That's where everybody, made decisions about your town. That's where your town or village survived or city, because the people used to gather there to make decisions. So it's a bit of a to-do at the moment anyway.
But it happens, those type of things happen all over the country, don't they?
Yeah.
It won't be only your council.
Oh, no. But our town, it's got 16,500 people living in it. And it's quite a good community. It's a very strong community. And they're putting up a fight.
Well, that's what you want, is people who put up a fight.
We got, local MP, which bloody hell, I mean, they're useless out there. All they're after is votes. We've got them and local councillors on our side. So, it's a fight worth fighting for. I mean, young'uns don't bother. They're not interested anymore. But another thing is, it's a small shopping community where people from other areas come round. Christmas and that, we put lights up and people do the shopping. And in summer, we have summer markets and that, and people from other towns and that come in. Well, they're on about putting parking charges and all.
Oh, right.
Well,
you love them, don't you?
Come to your town, will they?
No, you love them.
And not only that, the people who live in the town, work in the town, they've said it's going to cost them up to £30 a week more just to park the car to go into work. And it's a lot of money for, 100 and what's that, 90, £180 Is that right? 60.
I don't know. What did you say? 30 quid a
120.
week?
Yeah, 30, 60, 120 pound a month on top of
Yeah.
off your wage for note. But anyway, that's our local community and what's happening. Have you got a local community, Paul?
Well, I will have, I suppose. But I mean, I recall I come from Brid, and when I was young, we used to take sixpence on a Monday morning,
right,
to school.
Yes.
For the it'll come to me in a second. It was a fund to build a swimming pool for the town.
Right.
Yeah? All of us, all the young ones, used to take sixpence on a Monday morning to pay for this swimming pool.
Right.
Anyway, in time, the swimming pool got built, and so basically it was the kids and parents who paid for the swimming pool. And over the years, it's been knocked down, sold, built, knocked down, sold, built, and with nobody coming to the people of the town saying, what should we do with this?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's always been the councillors. Oh yeah, well we can't afford to keep pouring water down that swimming pool, so we're going to knock it down and sell it, and typical councils. I nearly swore then.
Well,
I didn't, but I nearly did.
The railroad, then, don't you see? They realise there's no opposition to the railroad.
It's because what they come up with is that excuse what you just said about them. Well, we've looked after it since 19 or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's been our money that's gone into it. Well, it isn't their money, is it?
No, it's people's money.
It's the people of the town's money that's gone into it, not theirs.
That's the question. I mean, I've been to town hall meetings of it, and that's what I've people have stood up and said, well, I've paid my money into your account, if you like, and you're spending it on our town. So come on, it belongs to everybody who's contributed.
It does. And that's the point, isn't it? It should belong to everybody. But it's like, you don't have to only stay on local government. It's like the government of the country, isn't it? It's, you can't have that money. You can't have that money because we're not spending taxpayers' money on this, that, and the other. Well, it isn't, we're all taxpayers.
Well, this bugger Starmer's in trouble, taking winter warmer money off it.
Well,
that's gonna be devastating this winter because
it might buy him a new suit.
Things will be highlighted. Any God forbid any tragedy where somebody loses, dies of hypothermia because they couldn't.
You'll be hearing about it straight away,
and the government will be sent to hell for it.
Yeah.
They will, but that's politics, Paul, isn't it?
It is, you can. But you've only got to look at this weekend's news, haven't you? Syria. Now, how long is it going to be before all these liberalites and snowflakes and whatever in the government start saying, right, they've got rid of that tyrant. We should be throwing some money at them to help them to rebuild. Well, no, we shouldn't. Why should we pay? Because that's what's going to happen. And you can, as sure as eggs is eggs, in time, probably just after Christmas or so, they'll start saying, we're going to give Syria £20 million to help them to get this, that, and the other done, and whatever. We shouldn't be giving them knack all.
Well, this is it.
Really,
the amount of money that goes out to country to support these places is unbelievable.
But it's going to happen.
And it's
going to happen.
I mean, you can talk all night about it.
The
biggest problem we've got is, I think, bottom line is, with little brother to them bloody buggers in America, big brother, little brother, and we tend to get caught up in what they're doing. And they stick the nose in everything.
They do, because the nosy gits.
That's it, and they drag us along.
And we're daft up to follow them because of this special relationship.
But you know what the problem in the world is? The biggest problem is trade.
Yanks.
So because you've got to trade with other countries,
Yeah.
you know, and if your relationship with these other countries is bad, and they decide you're not going to get no more cars, no more whatever bricks or whatever they get off them wool, you're not you're in trouble. So everybody has to trade. So, but they use that as bartering, don't they?
They do, yeah.
And Americans are the biggest buggers for doing it. Anyway, that's politics, and we'll be there all night.
You could be all night on politics, and we all have, you know, unfortunately, we all have different opinions, don't we, on politics? So
I'm going to.
It's pointless trying to get my opinion across to you and you across to me, because we won't think the same way.
Well, the biggest problem is generational differences. So if you can across to a young lad who's 20, who's not experienced what we've experienced, it's very difficult.
That's the point, isn't it?
That's so you say back in the day, Paul, to a young kid, well, we had lino flooring, and I'll eat him at coal fire it, and what to worry, one bit coal fire, and so we lived in days where you had to survive. They wouldn't understand. They've not lived. No. All they know is central heating.
Yeah.
So when you say winter warming allowance, you've got to remember these people who need it. They don't want to have to start going backwards, start making fires and building bloody things like that, like we did.
Well, we can't. You're not allowed to make fires, are you? You can't burn piss all nowadays.
No. So it's difficult. That's the thing, and that's where the government wins, because it's divide and conquer. You appeal to the next generation, and you'll get away with it.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is, the latter generation, the older generation, won't stand for it. They say, "No, I'm not having that. What a waste of money." But hey-oh. And that's why we get called silly old buggers.
Hey-oh, sounded like Santa was coming then. Hey-ho, ho-hey, whatever you call it.
Well, when somebody said last night on your live, "What are you doing for Christmas, Paul?" You didn't read it out. I put in your chat, Paul will be spending Christmas saying bar humbug.
Yeah. Have we gone offline or something? We don't seem to be have any.
It's gone quiet, hasn't it?
Yeah,
well, I can't tell you. You know that.
Well, it only shows a very small number is watching. So, the hell is happening? I don't know.
I don't know, mate.
We haven't gone offline, have we?
Let me just check. No, it says not. It's still playing.
Yeah, it's playing. Mine's playing, so I don't know.
Where's everybody gone?
Happening? I don't know. Nobody's saying anything, are they? Or is anybody there?
Oh, aye, mine's moving. Mine's moving a little bit.
Anyway, we'll just have to.
No, your chat's gone quiet and all.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's what I was saying. Nobody's in the chat, but Kelsey's just put, "You're still here." So
thanks, Kelsey.
I'm only going by what I can see on the StreamYard thing. Where it tells you how many's watching.
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, it has gone drop right down, hasn't it? I don't want to. Obviously, I'm not going to say where anybody is, but is Kelsey near me? My part of the country.
She's in the north.
Because Kelsey knows Wool Exchange, and Wool Exchange is only like 4 mile down road from me. And it's her favourite bookstop.
That's because she's a true blue Yorkshire lass.
Yeah.
There you go.
Of course she is, because she does a grand job in here.
She does.
She does a grand job.
I can't decide whether she's only one in.
She might be. Anyway, it's up to them, isn't it? We can still have a go.
Yeah, if you don't want to watch, you don't want to watch.
We've had but a lot watch through week, so we can't give up.
Yeah.
They watch it back, don't they?
They do, yeah. I watched saying that. I watched your thing the other day, your short vid.
Oh yeah.
You did, where you were sat in the park and stuff. I was quite impressed. It was quite well done.
Thank you. Well,
it was really well done.
I've got a little drone.
I wondered that. I was going to say, Bobby, how did you get that bloody picture going round you?
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out, did you have one of these sticks that goes round your head? But if you say you've got a drone, well, there you go.
Somebody says, "Oh, well, we are," and I said, "It's just me." I says, how did it? Someone were walking around you. I said, no, I've got little drone. He said, only a small little thing.
Yeah, I
And
was impressed.
it follows you. So I thought I'll just try it out and stick a bit of footage on. But yeah,
No,
that's where I go. That's that road from me. It's called a
no,
place
you
called.
did. You
Go
did
on.
it well, and it was edited good. I was impressed.
Thank you.
Very
But it's
impressed.
hard work, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Get editing stuff is bloody difficult.
Because you've got to get your sound as well. You know, the key they say with making videos is people will tolerate a bad picture, but they won't tolerate bad sound. believe it
Yeah,
or not. So
yeah,
if you've got your sound right, you know you're halfway there. If you haven't,
yeah.
people will turn off because they won't listen to bad sound. That's what they say.
Well, it gives you a headache, doesn't it?
Yeah, but they'll watch a bad picture.
Because we all can live with bad pictures.
But it is hard work. It is hard work. I know.
No, I was impressed, Bobby. I really was impressed. It was really, really well done.
Well, you've done odd one, haven't you?
Yeah, I don't think I've done out like that. I do.
When you did ginger,
Well,
what do you call it? Ginger.
Yeah, but what you did there was you went out and you filmed all different things, and then you've edited it together to make,
Yeah,
5-10 minutes or whatever it was, because in about
Yeah.
5.5 minutes.
yeah.
And so whereas I don't do that, I just go out, do a live, and if I make a mistake on what I'm saying, well, it sticks in. You know what I mean? Whereas if you were gonna, like you've done, go out and I don't know, blather about the weather or whatever, and you get a wrong line, when you can just stop that one and start again and do the same thing again with the right line, if you see what I mean. And then you can tag it into your.
Well, what I do is
Anyway,
I've been reading.
don't want to get complicated.
No, I watched a few videos, and you might have heard of it. They call it B-roll. So wherever you are,
Yeah, I have. I've heard of B-roll.
take a load of scenery pictures of where you are and what have you. You know, videos, and take that, then do your video. Put your video. This is what I did. I put your video on, and then slot these in between them, or over top of them when you're talking, and it just keeps the interest going.
Yeah, no, it was good. I enjoyed it. I did comment, I think.
Yeah. I think you did. I think I saw you comment. Cracking.
Yeah, I did comment. Yeah, I said cracking.
That's right.
It was cracking. I was impressed.
So where is everybody tonight? Anyway, there's no.
Like I say, I tell you what impressed me the most thing was when the picture went round you.
Yeah,
because I was sat here thinking, how the hell has he done that? But now you've said it's a drone. Well, boom.
Yeah.
It's only a little drone then. Small.
It didn't pay a lot for it. It didn't pay a lot for it.
You don't have to have a license and all that kind of shit.
You do.
Oh, right. Okay.
I had to read about it because drones are the funny about them, and anything under 250 grams, which mine is you have to get a flyer's license. Now, it's a free. You go on internet, and there's about 10 questions, and if you get them right, you qualify to get a flyer's license.
Oh, right.
And then you print it out and you take it with you. If it's over 250 grams, you need what they call a pilot's license, because
so you need to take a test,
a different test, because over 250 grams, it can be dangerous if it comes down on top of somebody, or there's another. That's Kelsey's just told us. There's another
eye patch. Who's the eye patch man?
Paddy Conroy.
Paddy Conroy. Okay.
There's a little bit of controversy going on with him at the moment, so people are waiting to see what happens next.
Right.
But that's I'm a swinger.
Yeah. Good evening.
That's
at least we've got somebody watching. We're not talking between ourselves, matey. Now we've got somebody in the. Do
you know what it's like, Paul? It's like when my kids, when they were bairns, they'd be sulking in the bedroom, and I'd say, "Hey, they'll be down when they're fed up," and it's same here. They'll be back when they're fed up. When they've had enough.
according to Kelsey, there's 1.6 thousand in the chat over there on Paddy Conroy's. It must be something bloody serious. What's that all about?
It's silly. It's silly.
Is he a dark side man?
Yeah.
Oh right. Well, I won't be watching that then, will I?
No, I don't bother anymore. It's just, I don't know. It's all arguing and falling out.
Yeah. I
Chatting
seem
and
to
balling.
recall, now saying that, I seem to recall I was on Cheggs's PC on Saturday morning, just checking some stuff over, and I saw a video he'd done on Paddy Conroy that hasn't been aired. If you say, you know what I mean, I don't know if you call it aired or whatever.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, I didn't bother watching it. I just noticed the name and saw the eye patch.
Yeah.
I'm going to look at that.
I'll be honest with you, when Levi come along, he were anonymous.
Yeah, he used to have that thing on his head.
He had
balaclava
on his head.
Yeah.
And I could suss out that he were a decent lad, even though he got his balaclava on. He was too soft. He was too soft with his, he want.
Yeah.
And I was surprised he got involved in that corner. And then I met him at a bare knuckle event. And he didn't have balaclava on. He come over. He says, it's Scott Chegg. I says, hiya, Scott. Is it Scott? He says, is it buggery? I'm Levi.
Yeah. I think, I haven't asked him why he went over to the dark side.
I'll just finish story. Listen.
Yeah, sorry.
And then we had a group picture, all friends. And because the picture were going to be put on YouTube, we put his bloody balaclava on to go into the middle. So, I've got it somewhere. I'll show you.
You'll have to send me it.
Yeah, and we're all there, 4 of us, all arm around each other, palling up. And there's Levi with bloody balaclava in the middle.
Oh, right. Yeah, I think, like I say, I haven't asked him about why he went that road. No. But I think it was more because he wanted to get his channel up. You know what I mean? He wanted to get people in and get members and all that kind of thing. So, and I think he had to go down that way to be part of that, to get the numbers.
What it is,
so, I think that's what it was.
That corner, you've wanted to jump on, be an unknown, and jump on and say something controversial about what's going on with all them, because they're always all falling out. And people go, hey, this lad's having a go now, so we'll all go over and see what he's saying.
Yeah.
Now, it gets you off the ground with YouTube.
Yeah.
You might,
and I think that's why you went that way. I don't know. I could be wrong.
I think it is. You get a couple of 100 followers, and then you're up and running. Now, Levi tried to move out of that corner, and then they all started jumping on his back,
Yeah.
And it's same with me. I mean, I didn't start in that corner. I started well before then. But, anyway, I don't go down that.
But you still get your people sending you silly comments on.
Oh yeah.
I read your comments in your videos, and you still get them.
You will.
Still there saying, why aren't you back here and blah blah blah.
Yeah, but it's
and, if it was me, I'd just put I don't want to effing know.
Yeah, I just listen. I've got a small interest with what's going on. As with out in past, I'll just see it dipping and see what's happening. But I don't get involved because I just have what I do, Paul, now is like that video I did. I just have an opinion. That's it.
That's it. That's good enough, isn't it?
That's it. And I want people to realise that. I made a mistake.
Bobby's never going to leave because he fancies Anne too much. Who's Anne?
Andrew Gine.
Right. Is Andrew Gine what's PC world for that?
Well, she's actually
what's a pronoun?
She's not transsexual.
What's a pronoun? He, she, it, that.
Well, I'll tell you a condition. She won't mind me saying. She was born with both male organs and female organs.
Oh wow!
So it's very rare that it happens, and that's how she. So she basically has the choice of saying he or she.
Yeah.
So she basically says I'm an individual. So I do believe she don't mind if you say he or she. Right. But she's a bit eccentric how she dresses, and there's no, to me it's not, don't mean no problem with it, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And I forget
I have noticed once or twice, you know, that I've seen her once or twice on other people's things,
yeah.
and I haven't made any, you know, I haven't got in my head what she is or what she isn't, or you know, it's nothing to do with me, is it? Really, I know what I am, and that's good enough for me.
Yeah.
I'm a true blue Yorkshireman.
Well,
Well,
that's
really.
it. But she gets a bit just a minute. I'm trying to think what they call it. It's a condition. But I never look at it. I never look at her like that. I never.
No.
She gets a lot of stick because she can basically identify for whatever she wants.
Yeah, yeah. Which is right, isn't it? We're all individuals. We can choose to be what we want to be, basically. And you can't knock people for wanting to be whatever they are. You can't knock it. I'm certainly not going to knock it anyway.
No, and it's called an hermaphrodite.
Oh, hermaphrodite. Well, you're nearly saying it right. The word's there in my head. I know what you're saying.
It's a rare condition. Yeah. It's a rare condition.
Yeah.
I don't think the full organ parts, but look. I think she was born with. I don't
think we want to be going anymore. Really.
No, male organs, but she had a womb as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's not physically.
According to Kelsey, she's got a wicked tongue, but is fair with people.
Yes, yeah. But she's an eccentric.
Which is fine, you know. Like I say, she's never. I don't think she's. I'm not going into it at all, Kelsey. It's Bobby who's saying all these.
Yeah, well, I get along with her. I get along with her.
I'm neither here nor there, if that makes sense.
She's quite amusing because she's got a wicked tongue. She can give it back.
Well, that's right. Isn't it? If you can stand up for yourself, that's what you need to do. Stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's that. That's
we'll get off that because.
So what have you out planned this week then? I know you don't go out much.
No, I'm like a troglodyte, mate. I just
plod on. And
Bibby says it's because Bobby fancies her.
You know something, Bibby? Me and Anne didn't used to get along. We fell out for quite a long time, and we drew the line. We ended up on a live together, on somebody else's live, and we agreed to disagree. We both went back down because I'm a Yorkshireman, I'm an orchid beggar. We both went back down, but we said, look, let's draw a line and agree to disagree. Put the past in the past, and we get on real now. She invited me to her live last week, sends me an email.
Oh, that's nice.
I don't think we'll be ever running away in near future together. I don't like that.
No.
But Billy seems to think.
But it's if you get on with people, that's all right, isn't it? It's when they take it to the 10th degree and they start getting bloody stupid. Then,
well, there's quite a lot of Neanderthals and all that. There's only 2 sexes and all this. Anyway.
Yeah.
2
6s are 12, aren't
they? I think as you get older, I've mellowed. I don't think you have you got older?
No, I think I'm just still the same miserable old pillock I've always been in my life. But
hey, baby, we don't talk about me meeting up with Anne. she'll be seeing this and saying she'll be having a go at you, baby.
Apparently, you've got a hotel lined up for Liverpool. Are you going to Liverpool, Bobby?
That's where she's from.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
You was in Liverpool not long ago, weren't you?
It's a scouser. Yeah, I went over to meet some friends. I didn't see her.
Are you sure?
And the first time I went, I don't think I'd ever been before.
I don't think I've been to Liverpool.
It's a lovely city.
I don't think I've ever been.
It's like most cities.
I'm just trying to think whether I have been. I think I might have been once, but only going through.
Oh, yeah.
To get the. No, I was going to say a bloody tram, but it's not a tram. Ferry. Ferry goes from there, I think, across to Belfast.
Yeah, yeah.
And we went across to Belfast from, and I'm fairly certain it was Liverpool to Belfast.
We've got
I could be wrong.
a couple more in. Now then, first time I went, I remember now, but I haven't been married long, so I'd been in my 20s, and I went to Albert Docks, and I saw what they call Liver Towers.
Oh yeah, the Liber buildings.
Yeah. There's like 2 towers out there, and I remember that one. But this time, I'd met up with some folks and we had a drink and a walk round town. But you know, when you're there, it's a beautiful city, round city. It's a beautiful city with a lot of homeless here. But
I know it's beautiful because my sister was there a couple of weeks ago. Some of her family, some of her kids had taken her for her birthday, and they'd gone to Liverpool. And she sent me loads and loads of photographs, and I thought, wow, that looks absolutely cracking. Yeah. But well, it's not a place I've been to look at. And it's unusual for me to say that, because normally when people say, "Oh, have you been to so-and-so?" Well, I've bloody been.
Yeah. Well, I jumped on train. I think it was about half an hour on train. And
so tell me, if you went on train, did you use your bus pass?
No, how can you bus pass on train?
I thought you could use your bus pass on a train.
I can't.
No,
I don't.
I thought you could use bus passes on train.
I booked. Well, wife
taking a piss, really.
Wife booked online, and she might have got some kind of concession for my age, but we got tickets, and I jumped on train, and I met folk at Victoria train station, I think it was, and I'm a bit sad. Well, my lad says I'm sad because if I ever go into cities, I always look up.
Yeah, I do. I always look up
because I love the architecture.
Yeah.
And there's so much mystery in it, Paul. There's so much mystery in how they built
I agree entirely.
And the art and skill they put into it.
You see, the thing nowadays is nobody looks up because they're all too busy looking down, looking at that little square thing in their hand.
Yes.
They're too busy looking at shit.
Yeah. Well, they were going to take me. I think we would eventually going to end up going like see Wet Beatles and all that business, and you know, and I wasn't interested, to be honest. And that's funny because every time if you go on YouTube, put Liverpool in, it's first thing that comes up.
Beatles,
landmarks of the Beatles and all that business.
Yeah.
And it did. I'll be honest, it got Cavern and all that. And to be honest, I wasn't interested in that. I thought it's a beautiful city. I'm happy. I was sat outside a pub on a little bistro table, looking around. I thought, this is great.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know it. Maybe you get like that when you get older, but
I don't know. I mean, you know, Beatles didn't float my boat back in the day. I didn't like the Beatles.
Didn't you?
Everybody was, oh, the bloody Beatles. Yeah. Well, I thought they were shit. Do you know?
When I was a kid,
they didn't float my boat at all.
Well, I must admit, when I was a kid, I thought they were just an average band. I didn't think that.
Yeah, it's
there were a chance they could have just ended up a club band. Them, you know. I think it were marketing that did it all.
Yeah, I think there was a lot. There was well, back in the day, back in those days, anyway, when they were about, there was lots of groups, and you know,
Merseybeat and all that.
You know, all those. There was lots of them as good as them.
Yeah,
and some even better, quite honestly.
Yeah, Freddie and the Dreamers, bloody Jerry and the
Pacemakers. Oh yeah, Get Away with Tommy Steele. I used to love Tommy Steele.
He was on his own, and I
loved him.
He's still about, you know.
Yeah, I liked. I love Tommy Steele. He was great.
Nearly 90 now.
Skipple. Oh, I love Skipple.
Lonnie
Donegan. Did you ever play the
Skiffle man?
Skipple thing. I can't remember what you call it now.
Washboard.
Yeah, the washboard. Yeah,
used to have a washboard. Used to have a box bass.
Yeah. They did.
Lonnie Donegan led the way with that music.
He did. I used to like Lonnie. He was quite good. Yeah,
he was very good.
Am I too late? No, jump up on the car. Well, yeah, it's.
Well, he did a lot, didn't he? He did Cumberland Gap, putting on the style.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Oh
all
God,
those. He was very
wow.
talented with Lonnie Donegan.
I liked him. He was good. But say, like I say, there wasn't. Everybody seems to think they were. Oh, the Beatles, and it wasn't only the Beatles. There were bloody hundreds of them.
Yeah,
Lots of cracking groups.
I will say this about them: they were very good songwriters. The lyrics are very good. But that's if you look into music, if you just want a nice tune, you're not bothered about words. But they were very clever writing. But it was very all one type of music, wasn't it? And then, I mean, they were on it. They were on it together. I think 7 years.
Yeah, long enough, wasn't it?
It's a grumpy old beggar, isn't it?
It was more than long enough. No, it wasn't. They didn't float my boat. I had different.
Well, you were rocker, Paul.
I wasn't. See, this 1960s thing. Well, I wasn't in the rockers and mods and all that kind of shite because I was in the army, and I couldn't have bloody long hair, and I couldn't ride around on a Vespa bloody thing. So it passed me by really, but the music didn't pass me by.
But
the things did, and the 60s when they say, oh, the bloody swinging 60s, free love and all that. I didn't have any free love, for Christ's sake. I didn't pay for it, mind you, but I didn't get any free. Wrong time in my life, I think. I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. But there you go. That's what life is. But like I say, there's lots of music out there that is absolutely cracking, and it ain't all the Beatles.
No,
and there's I can't, off the top of my head, I can't come out with a song or a thing, but there's lots of them. I can remember lots, and like I say, they weren't my
your cup of tea.
They weren't my cup of tea. I didn't like them. I like the Stones, though. I can honestly say I like the Stones.
Rolling Stones.
Yeah, I like the Stones.
I couldn't cope with that bloody Mick Jagger. He was bloody still daft as a brush.
Yeah, but man, there was a few ugly ones, weren't there? Do you know what I mean? They had to be singers because they wouldn't get anywhere on the bloody looks. David, good evening.
David Taylor, how we doing, fella? Evening from Glasgow, lads.
Yeah.
Bye, David, I bet it's cold up there, mate. I'm in north. We're in north, but not as far up as you, and I bet it's cold up there. You're renowned for cold weather in Scotland. Do
you know, Bobby? That's another city I've not been to. I've not been to Glasgow either. Do you know they're coming up tonight, aren't they? I've never been to Glasgow. I've been to Edinburgh a couple of times, but never to Glasgow.
I've never been to Scotland.
Yeah, I've been. Oh,
well, now they tell me that Scotland's a beautiful country.
I did a 7-month. Don't know what you could call it really. When I was in the army, I was at Aviemore for 7 months.
Right.
Just outside Aviemore. I can't remember exactly where it was, but it was just outside Aviemore.
Mm-hmm.
And we were building a dam on some laird's property, and we were building this dam up on this hillside thing or mountain or whatever you want to call the bloody things. And we were there for 7 months. So yeah, I loved it. I loved Aviemore. It was great.
Right.
And all around there, loved it. It was cracking. And I've been once or twice since. I've been skiing a couple of times.
Right.
Many, many years ago. And when I say skiing, I mean, I could stand up and
survive.
Not end up with me heading up my taxi in the snow.
David,
I've enjoyed it.
David says, "Aye, cold, all right, mate, but nothing unbearable." Now then,
well, he'll be walking around in t-shirts.
Yes, I dispute this, David, because you lads up there and lasses, you can handle the cold. I mean, we all say it, don't we? I think it's that iron brew,
It could very well be.
Well, that's best-selling cold drink, in Scotland, apparently.
I thought bloody
But
beer was.
you guys are used to cold weather. And I think, something, I've seen Scotland on telly and what have you many, many times. And I've talked to people who have been, but I don't know why, but it doesn't attract me. And I think it's the cold weather.
But
some of the
it's a
islands,
beautiful country, I can tell you.
Beautiful island.
It's cracking. It's a beautiful country.
I'd like to see, some of the views must be stunning.
Oh,
and there's lots. I mean, they say Glasgow. That's the art of Scotland. They say, a true Scotsman comes in Glaswegian. Now, Knaresborough.
That's a bit further south, mate.
I've lost it. The other one, Edinburgh.
Edinburgh's
more cultured, I think, isn't it?
I don't know.
Whereas Glasgow,
well, it is. I mean, there's a lot of culture in Edinburgh, but I would have thought there'd be a lot of culture in Glasgow.
Glasgow, they say, is the root of.
Isn't Glasgow the place where they've got those two big horses' heads? Is that the place? Is that where
Glasgow's two horses' heads?
Yeah.
David might be able to tell us. Have you got two horses' heads in Glasgow, Paul?
Yeah, I can't remember what they call them now. But
that's a well-known place.
Loch Lomond. I've been to Loch Lomond. That's nice. Yeah. It's a cracking country. It's lovely up there. I love it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't think twice about going.
No,
it's a long drive though, isn't it? It's a bloody long drive.
Yeah.
Especially if you're in the car like mine that can only go 28 miles an hour.
There's fault.
Oh, the Kelpies, that's it. Okay. Well,
what's the Kelpies, Paul?
They're the two horses' heads, I think.
Oh, the
shit! You must have seen them, Bobby. You must have seen them. It's
What does that? What do they? What's it about?
Well, the metal things. It's a monument type. Like the Angel of the North thing.
Mm.
It's like that, but
a landmark. It's like a landmark.
Yeah. You must have seen it. You must have done. I can't imagine you've not seen it at all, or them, or whatever you call them. I thought it was Glasgow, but there you go. They're still cracking.
Well, David, Paul says you'll still be in t-shirts and shorts.
Yeah, they will be.
Tougher than us.
Rough, tough, and hard to bluff.
I mean, when I was a lad, my mum used to say, but they used to say when it was snowing, make sure you put your big coat on.
Yeah, yeah.
But up in Scotland, it was like, well, we're tough, we don't care.
Yeah. But yeah,
I mean, I'll tell you a little story before we go.
Are we going?
Well, we're nearly there, mate.
Oh, right. Okay. That was quick.
My local pub, I drink in every week. They got a new landlord and landlady.
Oh, right.
And landlady, she's from she's local, she's a Yorkshire lass, lovely lass, and her husband from Scotland, and I couldn't understand the bloody word. I couldn't understand it. A lovely fella he was.
Yeah.
Will, they called him, and Will Frew. Now that's a Scottish name, Frew, isn't it? And anyway, lovely fella. But I used to say to landlady, "What did he say?" Oh, yeah. I've never seen it. And she says to me, "Well, he's not from round here, so do us a favour, Bobby. Will you take him out for a night round town and just, introduce him to a few folk? Because being a landlord, you want to get to know.
Yeah, try and get his tone down."
Anyway, we went out, just me and him, and all night trying to clue what he was saying. But some folk did understand him, it were a thick Scottish accent, and I ended up, well, this is Will, and Will at whatever he was saying, and I used to ask whoever he introduced him to what he said. He was just, his accent was that strong,
Yeah. But saying that, I mean, there'll be people down south saying, probably watching this and saying, "What's Bobby talking about?" Because they can't understand half of what he's saying.
You can look on your algorithm on YouTube on Unit Studio, and it'll tell you how many people use subtitles.
Right.
On your channel. Well, I had some at one point. I had something like 28% uses subtitles, and I come on here and you says, "Why are you talking like that? That you don't talk like that from where you're around." And I says, "I've got to talk because I don't understand." He says, "Bugger that." You said, "Bugger that."
They don't understand. They don't understand, do they?
What's
They
David?
work it out
What's David
in the end.
there?
He's put a lot of nonsense, to be honest. More money pissed against the wall by the powers that be. Well, that's normal. You know,
What's he talking about there?
He's talking about the kelpies. You know, the big things.
Right.
They'll cost a bucket full of money.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
it's same here, mate.
It happens all over the place.
Money's put into daft stuff.
Yeah.
It's put into daft stuff when
know,
it's needed for local folk. Anyway, Paul, we need to call it a day, mate. We've had a good hour there.
There's us kicking cash after HS2 and whatever and throwing in £20 billion black holes and whatever. Anyway, so what you say, it's 8 o'clock, is it? Yeah. Oh, it is, yeah. Wow.
Yes, the Lake
District. I was up.
The Lake District. How far is that from us, Paul? Lake District.
It's
not that far.
It's not that far, is it? It's up in top end of
He's saying he loves the trip down Lake District.
Yeah, Lake District's quite nice. It's top end of Blackpool way, you know.
Yeah,
way, top end.
I went there as a kid with school.
Yeah.
In one of these bloody hostels.
Yeah.
Night, David, and I'll say good night to everybody else who jumped in. Thanks for jumping in, David. Come back next week and we'll have a catch up, mate.
We've enjoyed your company. We've enjoyed everybody's company.
And this what makes it interesting. We're all from different parts of the country and we all have different opinions, and I love that, mate. Anyway, we haven't had a big crowd tonight because there's been another live on and every they've buggered off over there. So they'll come back next week when they've had enough. They'll come back. Right, I'll say good night and I'll leave it to you, Paul.
Yeah, well, good night, everybody. And I can't remember all names, but good night, David. What was it? Patrick, Kelsey.
Well done,
Bibby. Well done on the quiz, mate. If there's people watching who've not been to Bibby's channel, get over there. It's very funny. It's good. It's an enjoyable night. And he does a Tuesday night night owls. So
and a big thank you to Kelsey. It was a lovely girl.
Yeah, Kelsey.
She never lets us down. She's in both. She jumps from both chats and she does a cracking job. Thank you, Kelsey.
There you go, folks. Thank you for watching. And it's good night from him.
It's good night from me.
And it's good night from me and TTFN. Live long and prosper. Take care.
Bye now.
Bye-bye. And I can't find the button, Bobby. Sorry.
Have a great week, folks. While Paul finds the button.
It's there. I found it.